Definite starters right now.
Definite starters, Blake Griffin, Tony Crocker, Austin Johnson. That's it. Definite.
Jeff, in this team, the way it's put together, with especially the recruiting you were able to put together, are you pretty confident it's going to be a better shooting team?
Well, we hope so. You know, you always think as a coach, but you know, you never really know. Guys have to make shots in games, in game situations. You know, there were times last year in practice where I thought we were going to be a really good shooting team, and you get into a game and it's a different animal. I think we have some guys that can shoot the basketball, and hopefully that can translate over into games. Some of the guys we have returning, you know, are really good shooters. You know, Tony Crocker shot over 40% last year. Hopefully we can get AJ where he can shoot both at home and away. And you know, we think Cade Davis is a guy that can really shoot the basketball. Obviously adding a guy like Willie Warren, he can shoot it. Ray Willis can shoot it. You know, so hopefully we will be better in that area.
Jeff, you talked some about it last week. The progress that Willie has made since you began this process, how far has he come in that time?
Well, I think he's gotten better. It's still a process. You know, he's not one of those guys like a Durant or a Beasley, you know, where they're going to come in and they just dominate immediately. You know, it's a process, and I think it's that way for most guards. It's a process. One of the things Willie has to get better with is playing without the basketball, playing without the ball in his hands. You know, he's so used, and most high school guys are, they're so used to having the ball in their hands all the time that they don't know how to move without it. They don't know how to do other things. So I think he's getting better in that area. He has to continue to allow himself to get better and allow himself to be coached. But he's done a good job for us.
What is your philosophy as far as you got more depth, more bodies now, as far as many players you want to play?
Depends on guys that earn it. Just because you have more bodies and more depth, you know, it has to be quality depth. It has to be quality players, and guys have to earn it in practice. They have to earn it when they get opportunities in games. If they don't, or they don't deserve to play, or they haven't practiced, and I'm not going to play them. I'm not going to play, and you know, unless it's a returning guy that I know what he's done, I know what he's capable of doing. I'm not going to play guys that haven't done anything that I don't know. So, you know, we think we have more depth, but we hope that it ends up being quality depth, and if so, then we'll play, you know, however many guys deserve to play.
Among those guys who aren't your returning guys, who you think can contribute for you this year?
I think all of them can. Will they? That's the question. All of them can. You know, if we didn't think that, we wouldn't have recruited them. You know, because that means they were bad. All of them have the ability to do it. It's just a matter of, will they show that ability? You know, will they show it in practice? And that's, try to teach them, man. That's life. You know, you have to constantly prove yourself in life, and you know, you get to a point where you don't feel like you have to anymore, or you don't want to do it, then you're probably not going to be successful in whatever you do.
You feel you have a pulse for how good this team can be defensively? Can they be better than where you're?
I think we can be. I think we can be better than we were. Athletically, we're better than we were last year. I think we're a little bit bigger across the board than we were last year. And our returning guys are older. And you know, so they're experienced. So I think we can be a better defensive team. We hope to be a better defensive team.
Would you say one of your biggest weaknesses was matching up with different type of athletes on the perimeter? Could that be a bigger strength this year?
Well, we hope so. When we played teams that were very, very athletic, we struggled. You know, the Louisvilles or the Memphises, Kansas, even Texas. You know, those teams were far superior athletically across the board than us. Hopefully, with some of the guys we've added, we've closed that gap a little bit.
What does Patillo bring to the table for you?
Well, he brings, when you talk about athleticism, that's one of the first things that jumps out at you when you watch Juan play. He's very athletic, he's long, and he plays hard. Now he has to, hopefully his body holds up for him and allows him to do that. When he's been in practice, he's made a difference. on different spots, whether it's half-court defense, full-court defense. He's made a difference. We just need to get him out there more consistently.
Jeff, Ryan Wright's role and his strengths, what he might be able to bring?
Well, Ryan's a guy that's, I think probably the last 4 or 5 practices he's played at a really high level. He's rebounded, defended, thought he's been a very good screener, and then he's finished some plays. We anticipate Ryan having a big role on this team. Right now we're in the process of defining roles for our guys, and nothing's set in stone right now, but we're trying to figure out who we are and trying to figure out how guys can assert themselves on this team and which way they can have the biggest impact. But we do look for Ryan to be a guy that has impact.
Last year benefit him, just working inside?
Well, I think it benefited him. Having a chance to play against Longar, and Blake Griffin every day, I think so. Having a chance to sit out and not play, I'm sure I'm sure Ryan will probably agree with this, but that's probably put something inside of him, that makes him want it even more. Sometimes when something that you love is taken away from you, you realize how much you appreciate it when it's gone. And, hopefully, I know Ryan feels that way. The thing we want is for all of our guys to feel that way. We need that to become contagious, just how excited we are to play and work every day and try to get better.
Jeff, inside, you've talked about Ryan, and everybody knows about Blake and Taylor. I mean, you've always wanted to press. You've always wanted to put a lot of pressure on defense. With the advent of guys that are athletic and that can play in the inside as well, is that going to help you even on the back end on that press and that kind of thing?
Well, it could. It definitely could. In order to press, you have to do 2 things. Number one, you have to score, so you can set it up, or you have to get fouled, or cause some kind of dead ball in the backcourt. So you have to be able to do that. So that's, I think we've been pretty good defensively my first 2 years here. We have to get better offensively while continuing to improve defensively. But we certainly feel like, we're a little bit bigger, more athletic, and with our returning guys a year older, which should help us, we think, with doing some different things defensively, playing a little bit differently from, than we've played in my first 2 years here.
How is Blake's determination in the offseason? He worked hard on his shot, things like that. How could that open up his game and your offense if he brings that to the court this year?
Well, it will open up. He has gotten better in those areas. With him, being able to shoot the ball and shooting with confidence like he's doing right now, you can move him around to different spots, and in spots maybe that are a little bit more difficult to double. He got doubled every time in the post last year. There's probably a good chance that'll happen again this year. If I played against this, I would, because if not, he's going to score, he's going to get fouled. But his ability to do some other things and his desire to work on his game and get better has helped him, and that'll help our basketball team. What you hope for with a guy like, you hope that the rest of the guys work like that and have the desire to get better. And I think a lot of our guys have. We need all of them to be on the same page in doing that.
Were you surprised the coaches picked you to win the Big 12?
I was surprised. I was a little bit surprised that coaches picked us to win it. I knew we'd be somewhere in the top 3 or top 4, but I was a little bit surprised to see that they picked us. But, hey, it's great. We're excited about it. I want these guys to want to come to OU for that. I want guys we recruit that want to come to OU to be a preseason favorite in the Big 12 and to have a chance to have kind of the bullseye on their back. That's what we hope to get this program to on a consistent level.
You changed your approach at all with these guys leading up to the season as far as expectations being what they are? You just do it as you always have? We
deal with it as we always have. We try not to deal with external stuff. We try to control what we can control. And just in my life, not just with basketball, in my life, that's the way I've tried to live. Control what you can control, because the other stuff, you can't control what people say, what people think. I didn't worry about when people didn't expect much from us my first year. or even last year. So it's the same approach. We need to work, and we have to earn the right to be a good team. It's not just a birthright that we're going to be good because someone says so. We have to earn the right to do that, and you do that by practicing how hard you play and understanding the value of every possession, understanding the value of each day. And if we can get to a point where we really and truly understand that, how hard you have to play, try to win every possession, we'll be very good. We'll be a team that'll be really, really tough to beat, I think.
I'm curious, you come from a program where you played where there was a lot of emphasis put on having defensive stoppers. Do you see that developing more in this program? Do you have a defensive stopper potential guy there?
Well, our team was the defensive stopper when I was in school. That was the main thing. It didn't matter if Rasheed Wallace scored on Cherokee Parks. We didn't look at it like, Chief, you got to do a better, like we have to do a better job. We didn't want North Carolina to score on us. And so our team was the stopper. Now, in that, you had some guys individually that maybe were a little bit better defensively. Grant Hill's the best defensive player I ever played with, but we also had a guy my freshman year, Tony Lang, who was really good. Cherokee Parks, at 6'11" inside, led the conference in block shots. So you had those guys as your front line. For a guy like me as a freshman who's learning how to play defense on that level, those guys helped me. I wasn't a great defender early in my career. So it was more of our team. But everyone on our team has to have the desire of how important it is to stop, to get stops. And I've always felt that defense is pride, defense is guts, and it's heart. And you just have to have a desire where you don't want your guy, you don't want their team to score. And hopefully it gets to a point where you have some pride about you, where if they do, you're hurt, you're embarrassed. It's like if, I think most people want to be good at what they do. I'm sure all of you in here want to be good journalists. I'm sure as you were getting into your profession, you didn't think, I just want to do this. I want to suck at it. I don't really want to be good. I just want to do it. Well, if you want to be good at it, then you have to work at it. Then you have to have some pride in it. And if you have pride in it, then that'll show in your work. And it's the same thing in what we do. You have to have pride in it. If you have pride in it, then you'll be good at it.
Hey, Coach.
Hey.
Student tickets more than doubled this year. You guys think that's going to make a difference during home games?
Well, I hope so. I'm really proud of our students, for what they've done and getting out and getting those tickets. Proud of our athletic department and our marketing department. And there's a student group that really did a fantastic job from the end of last season throughout the summer of sitting down and coming up with different ideas. And we're very fortunate to have a great athletic director that's open to those things and that realizes there needed to be some changes. And so I'm really proud of it, and I hope it does make a difference. For one thing, our guys, hopefully they appreciate it, and I know they do. Really appreciate it and understand the difference that it could make.